Lately, Sergio Perez hasn't been much of a threat to Max Verstappen winning his third title, leaving many to wonder, is he on his way out? Let's hope not, because now that the Lewis to Ferrari rumor is calming down, the grid has been talking about Max Verstappen himself leaving Red Bull for Ferrari after this season. Where is all of this coming from? Let's find out. Helmut Marko, advisor to Red Bull, has dismissed rumors suggesting that Sergio Perez might be facing termination due to underwhelming performances in Monaco and Spain. Despite a recent setback, Perez began the season strongly, achieving victories in Saudi Arabia and Azerbaijan. Given Red Bull's significant lead over their rivals, Sergio Perez faced the pressure of preventing Max Verstappen from establishing an early dominance in the championship. Perez initially displayed the ability to challenge his teammate, raising hopes that he would sustain his competitive position at the forefront of the competition. Unfortunately, the Mexican driver fell on hard times during the Monaco Grand Prix when he experienced a crash during qualifying, resulting in him being unable to secure any points in the race. Further troubles emerged in Barcelona as Perez unexpectedly failed to advance beyond Q2. Despite managing a comeback and finishing fourth in the race, Perez now finds himself trailing Max Verstappen by a considerable 53-point margin. This situation has raised uncertainties about Perez's future at Red Bull and whether the team would contemplate replacing him mid-season. However, Helmut Marko is resolute in affirming that Red Bull remains highly satisfied with Perez, emphasizing that there are presently no intentions to dismiss him. He told F1 Insider, "It's all nonsense. Sergio's place was never in jeopardy, and will not be in the future either. It's an important element in achieving our goals for this year. We want to finish first and second in the Drivers' Championship and become the Constructors' World Champion as quickly as possible. I just reminded Sergio after his rather poor performances in Miami and Monaco that he should focus on his job because he didn't take advantage of the opportunities that were in him there. He should therefore concentrate on himself and not try desperately to beat Max. And he should be there when Max isn't going well. Sergio's good race after the botched qualifying in Barcelona was again the first step in the right direction." Although Max Verstappen is currently positioned for a potential third consecutive Formula One World Championship, there are speculations suggesting he might shockingly depart from Red Bull to join Ferrari. The two-time world champion has been mentioned as a candidate to leave Red Bull and join Ferrari, aiming to establish himself as one of the greatest drivers in the sport's history. Verstappen secured his first championship title in a contentious manner in 2021, narrowly defeating Lewis Hamilton by a mere 8 points. He successfully defended his title the following year, benefiting from Red Bull's dominant performance, which resulted in victories in 17 out of 22 Grand Prix races. Verstappen is on track for another commanding victory in the current season, having already achieved 5 wins out of 7 races. With Red Bull's clear superiority, Richard Bradley, a former Le Mans winner, anticipates that Verstappen may choose to join Ferrari to demonstrate his status among Formula One legends such as Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, and Lewis Hamilton. Bradley believes that for Verstappen to truly establish himself as one of the greats, he needs to succeed in a car that is not considered top tier. During an interview with OnTrack GP, Bradley expressed his sentiments, saying, "I think that Max is going to end up at Ferrari in a couple of years. It wouldn't surprise me. I think especially if he keeps on winning titles and he starts to get complacent and people start saying, 'Oh, is he the greatest of all time?' Max is the sort of guy that goes, 'Okay, well, I'll do what Schumacher did. I'll take Ferrari from not being in the position to win to make them world champions.' The reason I think this is because Max is on the path to greatness. We can all see that. He's on a meteoric rise. He's dominant at the minute. He's at 2 world championships in the Red Bull. But we've never actually seen him do what defines the true greats. And when I say that, we look at Schumacher, we look at Senna, Hamilton, and the one thing that defines all of these guys is that they were able to win in a substandard car and take a manufacturer to a position where they weren't winning at the time, but then they're able to bring him back there. Schumacher doing it with Ferrari, we had Senna when he was at Lotus, we had Hamilton at McLaren after the new rules came out in 2009, and then of course with Mercedes. Whilst Max is doing exactly what he needs to do in a very, very good team and car, I think he's going to want to prove himself, because Max, there's no secret, he's quite a proud person to say the least, and he's going to want to show that he is one of the true all-time greats, and I can see him wanting to bring Ferrari back to the glory that they had with Schumacher in the next few years. How this might look? I don't know. When this might happen? We're not sure. He's still young, and he's still got a bit of time, but I'd be quite confident that maybe after the next 5 years, if he's got to the level of 5 or so championships, which I think is very real, especially if the rules don't change until 2026, I think it's something to keep an eye on. According to Jensen, although Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen have already achieved significant success in Formula 1, they both need to accomplish feats beyond the realm of F1 to solidify their positions as two of the world's finest drivers. Button believes that their status as exceptional drivers would be further emphasized by accomplishments outside the Formula 1 circuit. As of now, neither Lewis Hamilton nor Max Verstappen have ventured into elite motorsports beyond Formula 1. While Verstappen has participated in notable simulated races, like the Le Mans 24 Hours Virtual, both drivers have yet to engage in other top-level competitions. Jensen expresses a desire for Hamilton and Verstappen to embrace external challenges outside of Formula 1 to strengthen their claims as the premier drivers in the world. During an interview with the UK Times, Button shared his perspective on this matter, saying, "There's every possibility that Max could go down as the greatest, but I like the idea that you can't be the best driver in the world if you haven't stepped outside of F1. Button highlighted Fernando Alonso's example as a driver who has ventured beyond Formula 1 to pursue victories in other prestigious races. Alonso successfully competed and emerged victorious in the Le Mans endurance race on 2 occasions. Button also mentioned the potential for Alonso to make another attempt at achieving the triple crown of motorsport by participating in IndyCar following his Formula 1 career. Alonso's willingness to explore different racing disciplines showcases the broader range of challenges and achievements available outside of Formula 1. Fernando has done a phenomenal job. He left F1 and came and raced in Le Mans and Daytona, won both, then won Le Mans again. I don't think his performance has dropped away in his 40s. Hamilton has been explicit about his lack of interest in participating in races outside of Formula 1, including the renowned Le Mans event. I don't have any desires to do any other racing, Hamilton said. By the time I stop, it could be 30 years. Everything else is a step down the ladder. There is no other racing series that I have any desire to drive, which is a shame. I wish I had more passion to do an IndyCar or a Le Mans, but there is zero. There is nothing. I have more exciting things outside which I am passionate about. There is a strong possibility that Max Verstappen will eventually participate in the esteemed 24-hour endurance race, potentially alongside his father Jos Verstappen. The 2-time world champion has expressed his interest in endurance racing, suggesting that he may pursue opportunities in that discipline in the future. However, Verstappen has explicitly stated that he does not foresee himself racing in IndyCar or competing in the iconic Indy 500 event.